Hey everyone, so today's video is just going to be a quick little one talking about Aliz. I've already made a video on her about Rift of Chaos and stuff like that whenever she was fully booked, but I just want to talk about her some more because the more I play with this character, the more amazing she just ends up being. Right now, I use her in, almost every content that I play. So I use her in my Earth Titan team. I use her in my Arctic Goliath team. I use her in any of the dungeon runs. Right now, I use her in Gemini Dragon, Witch of the Wind, and Queen of Tides. The reason why I do this is because I have some pretty good gear on, like Antinua or something like that, and I don't really need that kind of gear on her anymore. And the nice thing about the build that I have with Aliz is I can use her in any of those dungeons without switching around any gear. So it's more of a convenience thing for me. Now, I think I have some really good gear on her, which is just high damage gear, 7,000 attack, 400% crit damage, right around that, and then some okay relics. But I just wanted to show you some of the runs. So she's extremely usable in Queen of Tides. This isn't, in my opinion, maybe an ideal team, but it is one that I think is easily achievable for a lot of people, which is, Bulin, Florence, who I guess a lot of, people will get for free. So as you see there, because of Florence splash damage, she's able to go in and kill most of the team. And then she just gets all these bonus attacks whenever she's A5 to kind of just fly through the waves. And whenever she's A5, she's able to do that you're out twice, which is where a lot of the big damage is. So the Pixie's in there for the double counterattack. And then she also is able to bring in, the additional joint attack that Aliz will have. But right there, see, if I have a little bit more damage, that would be a pretty quick run. So, fast run out of Aliz. Just a nice little speed team where, again, I can just keep all the gear that I have on all of my people without having to switch stuff around. So that's the run on Queen of Tides, and then I should have a similar team on Witch of the Wind. So here I was using Shane and Marion Shadowblood, but I think in theory, even if you don't have Shane, you can again use Aliz, Florence, and then Radiant Pixie. And you'll have the same kind of output from the waves. And then the boss should go down actually a little bit easier, I believe. So it's so cool to see her do all of these extra bonus attacks too with Florence. It's kind of neat. I do turn her skill off just because she gets so many bonus attacks and then the splash damage from the Florence. But she does do pretty good damage on her ultimate ability. Yeah, so here, I guess the Bulin could be in quicker gear, but just from all of the counterattacks, she just speeds through all of these things, which is just really nice. You don't have to go in and figure out, what team you should run for the dungeons. At least on Queen of Tides and Witch, Ashe is basically the Rosalie show. But this team, I thought was pretty cool. I was like, man, I wonder if Aliz can actually do Gemini Dragon. So with this team, I was able to beat Gemini Dragon as well. So if you don't have, Aaron or Maeve, or you're even missing Gangelo or something like that, this team can actually beat Gemini Dragon. So you need enough focus from Flarence to put up the defense down and the increased damage taken. And then here, you have the curse from Zitlin, and then you have enough output from Aliz to make sure that she kills the dragon on the first or second hit there. So you need some defense and healing from the Zitlin and stuff like that, and the aura from Jocasta. But again, this is just like another nice team. It's definitely nowhere near as fast as Aaron and Gangelo and Santis, that team. But again, it's just one of these things where Aliz is completely interchangeable. And right at the end of the video, I'll show you all of the stats and stuff like that. So another application for her, like I said, was Rift of Chaos. She's actually even a viable damage dealer in Earth Titan. So if you don't have Rosalie, you can definitely sub in Aliz and then use somebody like Aramo as your other damage dealer here. But I like to have Rosalie in there just because it makes it go faster for me. And yeah, like a run like this is pretty quick because you get just really nice damage out of both Aliz and Rosalie. So Aliz does have the counterattack, whenever she's hit with an AoE ability. So she does some decent damage on the counterattack, but a lot of her utility comes from, one, her ultimate, which ignores defense, which is a pretty good hit outside of the counterattacks, where it's kind of hard to do damage. And then on top of that, once she actually loops back around to her basic ability, You're Out, she's going to be dealing that 15% damage, which is a pretty big number outside of counterattacks. So that's kind of what makes her really nice in this comp. So I'll speed this up, and then we'll just talk a little bit more about Aliz in the Water Rift, and then we'll end this video. I just wanted to show her versatility. So we'll catch you on the end of the video. So there you go. Like I said, just another great damage dealer alongside Rosalie. Just under 3 minute run. So let's jump over to the Water Rift, which is something that I've shown not too long ago, but I do have a new team. So let's jump over there. Okay, so last but not least, this is the Water Rift team. And again, this is all the same exact gear. This was the same gear for Queen of Tides, same exact gear for Witch of the Wind, and same exact gear for Gemini Dragon, Earth Titan, and Water Titan. So, pretty cool stuff. This obviously won't work if you guys are running like the higher stages of Rift of Chaos. But if you're still climbing and doing the individual stages like I am right now because I'm stuck on Fire Rift, she's a great interchangeable character for those two rifts as well as all of those dungeons. So pretty good stuff. Like I said, we'll fast forward to the end of this just to show you that it worked, and then after that we'll go through all of the gear on all of these heroes just briefly, and I'll get out of your hair. So there you go, guys. Just putting into practice, what we were talking about at the beginning of the video. It's just she's great everywhere, in my opinion. So I think she's underrated. I think there's even more possibilities of her. Whenever she first came out, I was kind of happy about the True Strike on her kit. But after playing her in Arena, I do think she's very good in Arena. The problem is there's just so much of the meta that kind of counters her. Like, she has really high speed, but she's not fast enough to counter the really good LDs, and she's not good enough to counter even her counterparts, that counter her, like Alicia or Fire Melisa. So I wish they would change this, to crit rate. So anyway, that is a bit of a bummer, but let's again go through all the gear of the people that I showed you. So again, this is her stats here: 7,000 attack and 400% crit damage with 234 speed. Then you had a couple different builds on Jocasta. So for Jocasta, I have two different builds. One is for the Water Rift. So this is the Water Rift build. She needs higher resistance for this. And then if you're going to use her in the Earth Rift, you just need her HP to be less than Brand, because you need Brand to be the target. So I just stacked a bunch of defense for her, but make sure she's still over that 225 speed. Those are her two builds. Who else did we have? Also, we had Hyunwoo. So Hyunwoo, man, I'm even missing some relics here. But he's 6,300 attack, a lot of crit rate, because the crit rate carries over into his attack. And then he has 153% focus. That's so he can put up the increased damage taken and the bleeds. So that's Hyunwoo. For Rosalie, for the Fire Rift, what we had here was she's an assassin and warrior, about 6,700 attack and 352 crit damage. This is definitely a weaker Rosalie, but I think because our Aliz is with her, I'm able to run her in some weaker gear, which is nice. Next we have Shane. Shane is the same thing with the Water Rift comp. He's got 160% focus. You need 150% focus to land the debuffs and above 210 resistance to make sure that you don't get frozen. So that's what I'm running on Shane. Who else did we have in here? And then Seema. Seema for the Water Rift is just enough HP, but more so the focus and the resistance, so she doesn't get frozen, and then she can return the Frozen Seal debuff back on the boss to reduce the mitigation. From the dungeon runs, we had Flarence, which is 281 speed. I just have her going at the first of the turn order with some decent focus to land on the Gemini Dragon. That's where you need the most focus. We had Zitlin, who was also in our Earth comp, and then our dungeon run. He's got, just regular HP and then enough focus to land his curse abilities. We had our Bulin down here, which is in just, stock gear. She's not booked or anything. 6,000 attack, 273 crit damage, and 164 speed. And then we also had our Radiant Pixie, who is Ascend 5. That does matter because she's putting up the attack up and crit damage up on your Aliz during the dungeon runs. But then I just have her faster than the rest of the team. It's okay if she goes before the Flarence, and that's all that matters is that speed. But that's it, guys. Those are all of the champions, all of the gear, on how we ended up doing the rifts. Oh, I do need to show you Brand. I'm sorry. I didn't show you Brand. And then Brand. He is the highest HP hero in that comp, so he takes the stun. So this is even kind of a weaker Brand. I'm missing that relic, but that's what I would put on him. So yeah, this is just a quick showcase of Aliz you know, after playtesting her more and more, I just find her to be an amazing character in PvE. And it's a shame she has True Strike, because if she had crit rate, I think, man, she'd be even better. So yeah, that's all I got. All right, thanks for checking it out. Hope you guys have a great weekend. See ya.